Yo, how's it going? Well, I think it's about time to talk about the day. So I'm going to talk about it right now. So I was woken up at around 8 o'clock. I was told by my mom that our family friend had made a beef and egg burrito. So when I heard that, I was like, sounds pretty good. I got up and our family friend asked me, how many would you like? Seeing the size of the burritos signified to me that they would be very large. So, of course, I said I would only like one, please. And I was given one. I ate the burrito in a communal meal breakfast with our family friend and my mom. We had a nice discussion, and then after that, I remember um, I needed to go to bed, or I wanted to go to bed, so I went to bed up until around I think like a half hour later, something like that, when I was asked by my mom to move my car out from behind because she needed to go to work. So I did just that. She drove off to work. I drove up the driveway and I got out and I went back to bed and stayed in bed all the way up until around 12, where I got out of my bed and I sat in a chair in the living room for quite a while. Throughout that whole time, I was nodding in and out of consciousness, trying to stay awake, till eventually I did manage to stay awake. I decided I would turn on the television in my room and finish watching that Jesse Michaels video I was watching yesterday about the GATE program and the guy talking about it. When it was fired up on my television screen, I made a cup of coffee with a bit of caramel syrup and half, mixed that together, and got four of those original glazed mini cruller Krispy Kreme donuts. And I had that with, I put those on a napkin on a plate in the microwave for around 11 seconds. Took it out. I noticed the coffee was a bit lukewarm, so I put in the microwave for an additional 30 seconds, and that gave it enough warmness to be a good temperature. Went in my room and I watched this video. Um, Anything interesting I remember from it? Anything of value? Well, nothing's popping up in my mind as of right now. So I'm going to move on from that. I'm just going to say I watched it while eating the donuts and the coffee. I felt quite dehydrated after that, so I went to get some water. And when I got my water, I went back in the room and I decided it would be a great idea to go ahead and play the mobile version of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom on my phone with the GameSir. I think it's like the Galileo controller, but I'm not 100%. It's basically like a Xbox style controller, but for your mobile phone device. It's a really cool controller add-on that turns your phone into a legitimate portable gaming console. Very nice. The only problem was I think the peripheral has turbo mode activated because I just wanted to press like a button and have it just press once and be good. But when I pressed it, if you hold on to the button for even just a little too short of a microsecond, it registers as you doing a double jump in the game. So I was trying to go through this level in the game, and it would have been so much easier if it weren't for the turbo mode being activated for the double jump. And I wasn't even able to complete the level. I retried it over and over again for like, I don't know, like at least 15 tries or something like that. But I kept on missing my jumps because the jumps were just not registering correctly. After I was done playing around with that, I was told by our family friend that they had found that Prime package that I was looking for the other day. You see, the other day, I realized that the Prime package that I ordered for batteries was missing. I asked everyone who lived in the house if they knew what happened to it, and all of them said, "No, I don't know." And they usually take a picture of the package in the front porch before leaving. So I had a picture of that package, so I knew it was delivered. But when I went to investigate where it could have gone, I couldn't find it anywhere. And the fact I couldn't find it anywhere led me to believe that, and the fact that I asked all of the people who currently live in my residence, and all of them said they don't know what happened to it, led me to suspect that porch pirates came and swept up and grabbed the batteries I ordered. So I made sure to go to Amazon customer service and let them know of the issue, and they ordered a free replacement. Um, and the replacement's actually on its way. But then, just randomly out of nowhere, when I was done playing the game on my phone, I was told by our family friend that they found the package in like the couch for some reason. I have no idea how it got there. Very odd, but it was there. And so I tried to cancel the Amazon Prime replacement order, but it said that the order was not able to be canceled because it had already shipped. So as soon as it arrives, I will be sure to contact Prime customer service and tell them about the situation and see what can be done going forward. I'll do that tomorrow. Because around that time, I needed to get ready for work. So I got ready, got my work clothes on, and then uh, I was running low on time, but I wanted to ask the chatbot Ash some questions to gain a bit more insight on where to go in terms of like how to approach my creative, um, you know, creative work. So I did that for like about 5 to 10 minutes before needing to go. And I guess the best insight I could say I got was that um, I work best when there are defined parameters and when there's clear, solid, um, you know, like understandable motivation and reason for doing things. If things are left too vague, then it's hard for me to get interested. After doing that, I got a bowl of beans, put some cheese on them because my mom made beans. I got a bowl, beans, cheese, put aluminum foil over that, and I decided to take that with me to work. I By the time I left, there wasn't really anyone at the house at the time, so I just like drove off. Um, when I eventually arrived at work, I punched in. I brought my beans upstairs into the break room. I went downstairs. I put on my sweeping jacket. I looked at the schedule and it did confirm I was on sweeps throughout the whole day. And yeah, I greeted everyone with a fist bump. I went to the produce to do my sweeps. Um, After doing the sweeps, there I did some sweeps in the storefront. Then it was a mix of going ahead and bagging for customers, helping customers find products they needed, um, or even taking orders out. I remember when I was greeting one of my coworkers, they were uh, telling me about like what they were researching there the other night, and they talked about looking into um, the Amish life and the fact apparently Amish people aren't given Social Security because they're completely off grid. Um, Makes me want to do a bit more research to understand how the Amish people live because we are so reliant on our technology nowadays to do anything in the modern era that the idea of just living completely off grid and doing everything through community is, technically doing everything community is how things were done back in the day. But now it feels like everything like we do is like there still can be a community involved, but it feels like big corporate entities are more so the forefront for the modern American way of life. It would appear. So yeah, the old era of people doing things based on like their close proximity and just getting things done and not being distracted by technology definitely is something interesting. I think I really would like to look into. Yeah, I even mentioned that conversation about Amish people to another coworker who was interested in the subject, and they said that like they'd want to live like a more balanced like life, like how like meat is like full on technology, vegetarian is like technology for when it's needed, and then vegans for Amish is like how we described it. Like I mentioned it like that, like I described it like that, and they thought that was pretty apt explanation. Yeah. So yeah, not much to say about um, what really happened beyond that, other than I was very friendly to the customers, worked well with my coworkers. When on my first break, I had a breathwork session that lasted about 10 minutes. It was very nice. And then, sorry. Yeah, and then I went back down, continued my duties, you know, sweeping, bagging, taking orders out, helping customers until it was lunchtime or close to lunchtime. I was asked by a coworker, "Hey, do you think you can like do a lot before going to lunch?" Because like I was supposed to do a lot, but I decided to leave an hour early. And I said, "Well, I mean, I'll see what I can do." But they said that like originally another person was scheduled, but they were worried like since they had it scheduled for like a lot 3 hours in a row, they might be fatigued of it. So I mentioned like I had a lot of things on my plate already. Like, I usually take out the trash around that time, and I also have to punch and sweep still, and I also have to keep in mind to take out orders for customers. So there's a lot that I need to focus on. So not really sure doing a lot on that plate was like something I could actually do. So I talked to the coworker who needed to be on a lot about, it, and they understood and did it. Um, so yeah, I took out all the trashes. I and then punched out for lunch. I had beans with cheese. I had to run downstairs to get a plastic fork and then some water. And then I decided to have the last cup of the Goodles mac and cheese microwave cup. So I had that. And I remember I rigorously mixed it before putting it in the microwave and only did it for 2 minutes the first time. After that first time for 2 minutes, I vigorously mixed it again to ensure that nothing stuck at the bottom and that like it would be a good final result. And then I put it back in, and when it was done, it was like a good, nice, puffy noodle. So it was pretty cool. I guess that's my pro move now. Take it out midway through, stir it really good, and then put it back in for the remaining 2 minutes. I then put the cheese powder in and mixed it up good. Then let it sit for like 2 minutes, like it says, and then after that, I just kept on mixing and mixing and mixing until it was perfectly formed. And I think that was like my best mac and cheese Goodles bowl that I had. I'm not going to say that's like the best mac and cheese I've ever had in the world, but it was certainly a huge improvement compared to the previous Goodles mac and cheese attempts, which tasted okay but weren't fully flavorful. For some reason, this one was very flavorful. And I was eating the mac and cheese and the beans and the cheese on the beans, and then I had a bit of leftover ice cream in a bowl. As I was eating this, I was watching a interview between Dave Ramsey of Area 52. I think that's his name. I'll just say Mr. Ramsey in case I'm getting that wrong. And a guy who does research on Nordic beings. And he was talking about like Nordic being prophecies before like I need to go back downstairs for work. So I did that. I punched back in for the remaining 4 hours. It pretty much was like fill the rest of the bags in, which I actually filled the bags in earlier in the day. I forgot to mention that. But I finished filling in with one more box. And I got help from a coworker to bring all the carts out of the front so they could be sprayed down and cleaned, which I was very grateful for, by the way. And then I wiped down every single check stand and closed the produce blinds and refilled the cleaners. And yeah, had a humorous goodbye with one of my coworkers before, after grabbing my bowl that I took from home and brought to work, so I need to bring it back home again. I even got the free coffee given from my work that I would take home too. I think it was called Coaster or something. But anyways, yeah, I said goodbye to a coworker. I said goodbye to my co-manager for that night. They did address the whole thing that happened the other day and just said they were concerned about my safety and didn't want like my phone to get stolen or like me to be in any trouble. So yeah, I understood that. But it felt kind of validating and good to hear that from directly from the co-manager. So yeah, nice to know people got your back. Big thumbs up on that. So I went in my car. I drove home. When I got home, my mom and family friend were watching a show. While they were watching the show, I decided to get out of my work clothes into my regular clothes. I was told by our family friend that there were some refried beans made, so I got the refried beans and I put a little bit of water in because they were slightly dehydrated, and I mixed that until it was nice and smooth again, and I heated up a tortilla that was very fresh tasting, and yeah, I had like a bean and cheese tortilla, or burrito, I mean. It was very good. I had a Sprite, 0 sugar with that, and I was even given an oatmeal cookie with cranberries in it, very nice. 2 Recess Oreo cups, which were very good by our family friend, and even again for our family friend, a bag of chips, which were decent. and I even had a raw Hebrew National hot dog, which was pretty good. I then decided to listen to a interview of Maxwell Adams, the creator of Billy and Mandy, was having with one of his cartoon characters, the spider character. That was pretty fun and weird and surreal. I really did enjoy that. And then I decided to listen to Maxwell Adams give an interview with a guy who's had like a 50-year legacy and career working in the animation industry. It was kind of depressing hearing how he spends his retirement though now, and now he literally just goes to the doctor every single day, and doesn't really get out that much. It's kind of sad. But yeah, it was cool hearing different old stories about how things worked back in those days. It was pretty disheartening hearing that animator talk about how things are worse now for the animation industry than they've ever been in any point in history. So that's kind of that's kind of concerning. Anywho, after as I was listening to this, I was playing the video game High on Life. Then I switched over to Tear Down, a destruction physics game, and I realized, oh, I have the monthly games available on PlayStation Plus Essential, so let's see what we have. And they had Warhammer available. It was I forget the exact name of this one, but it was like one of the newer games. So I decided to download that. And then I switched over to playing Quake 2. That was pretty fun. And then I switched over to a game called Dreams. Dreams is a really underrated gem of a game because it's basically the YouTube of video gaming. Like, if you want to get a game that showcases people who are fans of video games and just being creative and making weird, fun, goofy stuff, I think Dreams is an excellent investment to make if you're a fan of any of that. Really, really cool game. I was even playing like a backrooms level, and then there was like a Mario level, and then like a robot platforming game. It's honestly fantastic, the value you get just from that one little experience. It's really cool. I then realized it was getting late and I was getting tired, so I for some reason, as I was getting ready for bed with taking vitamins and taking the last bit of magnesium powder and brushing my teeth, I was listening and half watching episodes from Aqua Teen Hunger Force because I kept on hearing about how that show was like classic, early 2000s Adult Swim, but I never bothered watching like the show until just recently because a lot of the episodes are available for free full on YouTube. So I've been watching those a little bit, and it's a really weird show, definitely. Strange show, for sure. Sometimes it gets a little chuckle out of me, though, I'm not gonna lie. Well, after I was done getting ready, I realized I needed to make my update video, so here it is. And that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will be going to sleep now and enjoying my next 2 days off, so goodbye, everybody, and take care.